One test measured grow tents and found something backwards. The premium names like Gorilla put less light on the plant than the cheap ones. Same fabric box, same metal frame, same shiny liner inside. The pricey names lost. You are about to shop for a grow tent by the one number printed biggest on the box. That number is Denier, the 1680D or 2000D thread rating. It is the number that decides the least about whether your tent works. And the specs that actually matter cost the brands almost nothing to hide. So here are 7 rules. Follow them and you skip the marketing tax. Break them and you pay double for a fabric box that sags, leaks, and lets you down. Let's name the obvious target first. Yes, the no-name Amazon tents are junk. Half of them won't even print their denier. They just say dependable thread and hope you don't ask. Fine, you already knew that. The real story is the number itself. Denier means yarn thickness, how fat each thread is. That's all it means. There's a second number that matters more and nobody prints, GSM, the fabric's actual weight per square meter. A loosely woven 1680D can weigh less than a tightly woven 600D. It does not measure how well the tent seals light. It does not measure how strong the frame is. Fabric engineers say it plainly. Denier is a starting point, not a verdict. Here's the part that stings. That same tightly woven 600D fabric can outlast a loosely woven 1680D. The thicker number can be the weaker tent. Weave, coating, and yarn quality decide durability, not the big number on the label. So rule 1, stop shopping by Denier alone. It's the most oversold spec in the aisle. The poles hold everything and nobody reads them. Now the spec that actually decides whether your tent stays standing. The poles. A grow tent is a fabric skin hung on a metal skeleton. Load that skeleton with a light, a fan, and a carbon filter, and thin poles bow like a wet noodle. Standard tents use 18mm steel poles, about the width of a thick marker. The good ones use 22mm poles, roughly a fifth wider, rated to hold 250 pounds of hung gear. That extra few millimeters is the whole difference. It's a tent that holds your gear versus one that folds onto your plants at 2 a.m. But almost no listing leads with pole size. They lead with denier because denier sounds impressive and poles sound boring. Rule 2. Check the pole diameter and want 22mm reinforced steel. Rule 3. Read the hang weight rating and make sure it covers your light plus your filter with room to spare. Here's the thing most reviews won't tell you. If a tent listing won't print its pole size, that silence is the review. A brand proud of its frame tells you the number. The part that fails first. If you want to know how a tent really dies, don't ask about the fabric. Ask growers what broke. The answer is almost never a torn wall. It's the zipper. Cheap tents use unbranded zippers that jam, split, and let light bleed straight through the track. And a light leak matters. Even a thin one throws off the dark hours your plants depend on. The fix costs the brand almost nothing, and the cheap ones skip it anyway. The quality tents use a genuine SBS branded zipper. You can see SBS stamped right on the pull. Behind it sits an inner fabric flap that baffles the light. That flap is what makes a tent truly light-proof. A tent can brag about 1680D canvas and still leak like a screen door if the zipper is garbage. Rule 4. Demand a real branded zipper with a light-proof flap behind it. That is the one detail that separates a sealed tent from an expensive bag. The claim you can't check. Every tent on the shelf brags about 99% reflective mylar. It's the shiniest promise on the box. It's also the one nobody independently checks. So someone did. An independent test hung the same light in each tent. Then it measured the light actually reaching the plant. Growers call that reading PPFD, the amount of usable light landing on the canopy. 32 readings per tent, taken with a lab-grade sensor. The premium tents, the ones you'd assume win, landed at the bottom for usable light. The cheaper Mars Hydro and Vivo Sun tents reflected more. I'll be blunt here. The liner percentage on the box is the least trustworthy number in the whole category. Buy the tent with the proven build and the honest frame, not the one with the boldest liner claim. Rule 5. Ignore the mylar percentage. It's marketing, not measurement. If you take one habit from this whole video, subscribe and take this. Buy the numbers a brand is willing to publish. Distrust the ones it only advertises. That instinct will save you on the next category too. because that instinct is exactly what exposes the biggest markup in the aisle: paying for the name. Here's where the money really disappears: the premium brands. Gorilla is the big name, genuinely well-built and tall. It's the only tent with a frame you can raise for bigger plants. That height trick is a real exclusive feature, but you pay for it, hard. At the top of the market, that premium can run as much as $1,200 over a comparable tent. $1,200 for a fabric box with a taller frame. Testers who measured everything kept landing on the same word for it: overpriced. And watch the name game. That same premium brand also sells a light line at $210 Denier, a fraction of the flagship's fabric. Same badge on the label, a thin budget tent underneath. The name is not the spec. Rule 6. If a listing hides its Denier or poll numbers, treat the silence as the answer and walk. The tent's worth your money. Now the good news, because there are real winners here, and they cost a fraction of the name brands. AC Infinity's CLOUDLAB is the one that plays it straight. A 4x4 runs $199. For that, you get 2000D canvas and 22mm steel poles instead of the standard 18. You get a 250-pound hang rating and genuine SBS zippers with the light flap. And you get a full spec sheet that hides nothing. It publishes exactly the numbers the other brands bury. That's the whole hero move. Mars Hydro is the budget pick that keeps winning. Around $250 gets you a big 1680D tent with welded metal corners and inner zipper flaps. And it topped that independent light test the pricey tents lost. VivoSun sits right beside it. It's cheap to enter, reflects well, builds solid, and offers a pro line if you want to step up. Now growers will fight all day over which of these three is the real value king. AC Infinity for the poles, Mars Hydro for the price, VivoSun for the reflectance. Every side of that argument is defensible, and that's a fun fight to have. You won't go wrong with any of the three. Your move. So here's Rule 7, the one that ties the other 6 together. Buy the tent that publishes its numbers. Skip the name brand premium unless you specifically need the one real exclusive. Know your setup before you click. Match the tent size to your plant count and your light's footprint. Running a carbon filter? Buy one size up. It eats your headroom. Check the duct ports too. You want 4-inch, 6-inch, or 8-inch ports that match your fan, not whatever the tent happens to have. Want the height trick for tall plants? The premium might be worth it. Everyone else, the honest mid-tier tent wins. The number on the box was never the point. The tent that tells you the truth about its poles, its zipper, and its frame, that's the one that lasts. Buy the honesty, not the hype.